Hi everyone. Good morning actually. Today is Monday, July 3rd, and I wanted to say greetings from the I'm out of breath because I was running up the stairs. I wanted to say greetings from the global economic north. Now, I'm not really sure what to call today's video, but I was just reflecting on a couple things actually. Just this whole idea around sort of how the supremacy of whiteness is infiltrated even into the ways that us black mothers do mothering towards our black daughters and our black sons. And I was reflecting on a video that I did sort of critiquing and exploring sort of this contention with Miss Zoe Kravitz and Miss Lisa Bonet. I just felt that it was really, really disrespectful for Zoe Kravitz to sort of be very open and very, very comfortable talking about how she also supports the potential of this white chick being her stepmother. And when I think about like stuff related to systems that have actually also taken our children away from us, it's like, we have to like think about, also opportunity costs, right? And I was not sure if I should like personalize things to mean like, talk about personal experiences. But one of the things that is encouraged in USA Black Feminist thought is to develop something called the experiential. And what that means is that, sort of put a voice to the pain or the violence and, work through the experience in a way to sort of challenge, counter the experience, so the negative experience. So I'm still trying to figure out like certain ways to convey certain things, but I just find that there really has to be some more literatures about black mothering, because when it comes to problems with like, trying to understand how to, engage and work with our children, we actually are very good with our children. We're probably the best mothers in civilization, best mothers from the first most ethical, advanced, and very advanced civilization related to human civilizations, I guess. I hope I'm making sense. But we're really good mothers is what I'm saying. And what happens is like, when we go through these experiences related to economic oppression, so for example, like, I am going to speak about my story actually in another video, but when you're actually trying to leave abuse as a black woman or a young black female, as was in the case of myself, the type of abuse wasn't like the sexual thing related to sort of, a guy beating the shit out of me, but it was related to a lot of religion terrorism and, these practices to attack people's self-esteem. So it really got to me, and I thought to myself, I really need to leave this household because, I know I'm probably going to put a knife in someone's jugular. So, just reflecting on my own experiences, I'm going to come back to this thought and, explore a video about black mothering and, the problem with intervention by a system that is sort of designed and created to also infiltrate something called the supremacy of whiteness. And in my own particular experience, there was this way where, I was raised in, the prairies of Alberta, and, I was very free with myself. I was, always like questioning things, and I'm really thankful that, I had it within me to also question, because what happens in the black community, for example, from generations of colonization, is that we have this division in our community between, we call them the house niggers and the plantation folk. And I come from that lineage of the plantation folk, and also having that connection to Afro-Jamaica, which is, rural Jamaica, is that I notice a lot of things growing up, and for whatever situation I ended up in, I always wanted the best for all of my children. I actually wanted a very large family with like 12 kids. Wanted to find like a really nice black male. I don't do this thing with like genetic mixing and this idea around you just kind of fuck whoever. I don't fuck Becky's and I don't fuck Bernards. So or Bruces or whatever you want to call them. But I do have friendships with people. But when it comes to sexual discipline and sexual practices, I don't do this thing called genetic mixing. So I was just thinking about some things, and I said, I really have to speak about my story with respect to what happened to me when I actually relocated. So migrated from Western Canada to something called, I think it's really Central Canada, because Eastern Canada is more like New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, that part of the Canada geography. So on that note, I just wanted to say thank you for watching my videos, and let's start talking about this thing called black mothering and who actually is behind these schemes with respect to a political party perspective or governance perspective when it comes to creating these practices to intervene on how black women actually raise their children. In the sort of female world, we have like a lot of these fucking Beckys or whatever you call them. They like to brag in our faces that they've got their children and pushing their baby strollers, and they have all this free time, this free like sort of mind space time to go to libraries and sing songs to their children and do the nurturing. On the other hand, black women from the plantation experience are busting their ass, they're working all kinds of jobs, putting their kids in fucking daycares and trying to sort of source a source of ethical income where we don't have to actually go into prostitution or stuff related to degrading the human essence or spirit. So I'm actually going to do a video about black mothering and talk a little bit more. I'm going to try different landscapes to also talk about this this problem, because where I am actually located in the global economic north, there's a lot of problems with respect to inter-ethnic relations, ethnic contention. You have like these fucking, I don't even know where these people come from, but you have like a lot of these people like from Arab world stuff, and certain Chinese communities, as well as places from like Korea and Japan. They don't do any economic sharing, but what they do is they reposition themselves very strategically, in certain communities where they sell the things. They become these merchants, and they're actually putting back into the community everything that is actually destroying. In particular, what I focus on is my own community, which is the black chocolate community. So on that note, I just wanted to say and give a hail up to actually Miss Lisa Bonet, or Lila Kwai Moon. As a personal message to you, I've really respected you over the years, and I just really like your presentation as a light-skinned black woman who is really connected to the essence that we should all be connected to, which is that which has to do with nature. So I really like your presentation, Miss Bonet, and I'm actually working on some things where I can source some funding to have Miss Bonet presented in certain pieces that I'm working on. I don't know what your fees are, Miss Bonet, but I think you're definitely worth I'm thinking probably $1.5 million in certain projects that I'm working on related to also looking within our own Black community and reconnecting ourselves back to what should be probably traditions related to, sort of esteeming, not sort of, but esteeming the supremacy of nature. So on that note, thank you so much for watching my videos, and just to let you know, I'm getting some persons that are interested in my work. This one particular network in Atlanta, Georgia, sorry, the network owner actually contacted me and or was interested in my work, and so we were talking on the phone, and he says that my work is worth probably about $1.5 million a day. So on that note, I just wanted to say I'll keep you updated, and thank you so much for watching my video over the years. I wanted to hail up one person, a couple people actually, but one in particular. I think his name is Dahim or Daher or something, Dahaim or something on YouTube. I wanted to say thank you for being one of my fans from when I first started my videos. That's pretty funny. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep like sort of this presentation where I'm just like very casual. I don't like sort of made up stuff because it comes across as being very not natural. So I also don't speak from a script. What I do is I actually study stuff. Like I read books and I write research papers, and then what I say to myself is, okay, how do I articulate this in video form? So I don't have to be reading off a script and, pretending like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I think that when you're making video presentations, you have to actually speak from what is within. And if you're so ignorant or arrogant that you feel that you don't have to do any research and you just talk a bunch of shit, then you know what, that kind of stuff, it actually hurts our communities. And on that note, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching my videos. There's a helicopter over there. Just wondering what it was doing, but thank you so much for watching my videos, and stay tuned for more from, I don't even know what I should call my name. I think probably I'll stick with Goose Canada. So Goose the Bird Canada at gmail.com, or is my email address. And Goose Canada, I'm sorry, let me start that again. I just wanted to say thank you from myself, Goose Canada, on this presentation of a video, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. But I just wanted to show you something here, actually. In this federal Canada Elections Canada boundary, it's called York Southwestern. So a lot of these like really fucking ignorant and very, very prejudiced, very discriminatory, very hatred full of these people called Italians and some Portuguese. Not all of them. Some of them are really nice. But I noticed that when it comes to something related to sharing money or economic sharing, they get very, very violent, and they embed themselves in all these like different systems and infrastructures related to even the public domain. So from me, coming from a very like I'm very, very conservative, meaning that I support the principles of this Conservative Party of Canada that existed from like the Ralph Klein era in Alberta. And just to explain a little bit more, I'm going to do some more videos about how to do like an ethical political analysis, because one of the things that I've noticed, especially when it comes to a lot of these communities that don't want to do any type of economic sharing, is that they like to position black people in a certain black folk in a certain way where they create a division in the community. And the way that we have worked from like way before colonization is that we actually, we had our fun, we had our families, we did our thing, whatever, we were making, ethical means to make economics. And this division was created in the community very strategically because these other civilizations couldn't understand how we were always just so happy and so advanced in even our engineering and our different intellectual thoughts, our cosmologies, etc. So they created this division, and it really comes down to these fucking power dynamics. And I always said to myself, I never knew what this thing called power dynamic was, but I don't want any power. I don't want any of that bullshit. So I'll do a video about how to do an ethical governance analysis. I don't call this thing political, because what political, the word does, is it triggers these ideas around, just creating contention and stress and fights and, a lot of negative stuff. And I notice that the media likes to really, really, come to us and just feed us a lot of garbage. Like, people will come and they'll ask these really stupid questions. So I'm like, do I respond to that, or do I actually spit in their face? So, yeah, I just wanted to show you something here. Like, if you see over here, this actually used to be a gas station. And this was actually run by a lot of these people that looked like they were from India or Bangladesh or Bangalore, that kind of the world. And I remember some of the people from our community, our black community, actually went over there to ask them for a job, and they didn't want to hire us. There's another also community that I'm actually going to do another video about. They were approached, and the funny thing is that it's a Chinese community, and they were approached for opening up employment opportunities to the community, and they rejected the black community, but they brought in like white folk, or they brought in, I noticed they a lot of these prejudiced communities align with these people from India. So Bangladesh, South Asian, that part of the geography of the world. So on that note, I just wanted to say thank you for watching my videos, and have yourself a really nice day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.